You're watching a recap from Investor XP, the show that covers investing for gamers. Check out the video description for details. It's Thursday, June 22nd, and here's what we got for you coming up if you're watching live. We're finishing up our recap of E3. Today we're talking about Sony, Microsoft, Take-Two Interactive, and Ubisoft as a follow-up for those stocks. So that's what we got coming up. Each of those is going to be an individual recap story that we're posting on YouTube. So be sure to check those other videos out if you're watching one right now. So let's go ahead and jump right in. The next E3 follow-up we want to talk about is the Xbox and Microsoft. They had a really good E3 showing, I felt. Much like Sony, though, Microsoft isn't a pure gaming console play. Microsoft is a stock. Every time I go to buy it, they do something that I don't like, and they kind of get moved off to the side, and I'll buy them later. And that's kind of bit me over the last few years, certainly. I'll show you their chart, the 5-year chart that they have. They just like to keep going up and up. Microsoft does. As you can see, 5-year chart, they're in the 20s, now they're in the 70s. A lot of money to be had in Microsoft over time there. Now, they fit the criteria that I look for in a company almost to a T. They've got a very good dividend yield, 2%. Their price to earnings is relatively low. If you look at their future price to earnings, forward earnings is 21 times, so lower than the average in S&P. Good profit margins, 121 billion in cash, 86 billion in debt, so they got plenty of cash, 18 billion free cash flow. They are a great company to own. I just constantly miss out on them because they do something with Windows 10 or they'll change the operating system on the Xbox, and I don't particularly care for it. They do something dumb like that, and I miss out on a buying opportunity. So don't miss out on Microsoft. Now, there's an article over on The Verge of what their big showing was at E3, and I disagree with what they have over here. Obviously, Scorpio calling it the Xbox One X is a big thing, 4K gaming. All right, a lot of things look cool there. It is a little pricey, around $500. That is a little pricey. It's cheaper than a lot of people thought it was going to be. People thought it was going to be, like a computer, $1,000. Original Xbox games are coming to Xbox One. Honestly, I could care less. And this is one of the things that they do where I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll skip buying Xbox or buying Microsoft stock. There's been multiple articles recently where a lot of the backwards compatible games, people aren't even playing them. The 360 games, let alone going all the ways back to the original Xbox games. There was some good games for it, but I didn't care for the original Xbox, and that had some horrendous problems with it. And they talk about the Assassin's Creed. We'll get into that in our Ubisoft video. So that's what they had there. The Verge had as the best things out of E3 from Microsoft. And like I said, I disagree with that. To me, the biggest thing that Microsoft had is Sea of Thieves. And we've talked about this a couple of times on the show, more as, we're kind of curious as to what Sea of Thieves is. We've talked about the Sid Meier's Pirates being probably one of the best games of all time, and they've kind of trickled out more and more information on Sea of Thieves, and there was quite a bit at E3. To me, this is one of the games that could potentially, it was a show stealer, and really what they showed off with the multiplayer. I'll pull up Sea of Thieves here online, listening to the different people that played it and tried it out, it's a really interesting, unique experience where as people play online together and kind of they work together to plunder each other and different things. People were talking strategy on how they're gonna, let other pirates get the treasure and wait for them and ambush them in their ship. Lots of different things people were talking about. Everyone was surprised when they finally got some hands on with this, how good it was, and they all talked about the potential that they have for this game becoming a great one. And uh, honestly, the Microsoft's first party stuff that they do, I've never been too impressed with it. But Sea of Thieves, I've got my eyes on it. This one could be a big deal. As you see, Ubisoft, they've got their own pirate game, and we'll talk about that as well. But this could be a big one, and it is coming out on the One X. Whether how better it's going to look, they specifically talked about it being there available. Obviously, the One X is going to play all the Xbox One games, but some of them are going to take more advantage than others, and I don't see why Sea of Thieves wouldn't, take full advantage of the new hardware, being a first-party game. But it definitely it has more than my curiosity now, and I think this could be a big seller for them, and it's one of the things that could get Xbox back on track. I'll be curious to see how the Xbox One X sells. Is there an appetite for 4K gaming at that price point? Is it that much more intriguing than the PlayStation 4 Pro? I don't know. They're really going to need games like this, though, to kind of push it. And this one, it might be that game that it's kind of it's the exclusive that gets everyone playing. So time will tell. I still think PlayStation and Sony is in the driver's seat as of right now. Xbox and Microsoft, they probably their timing is off. I don't know. We'll see. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Sea of Thieves, Xbox One X, how Microsoft did at E3. That's it for today's episode. I'm going to wrap it up here. You can contact us, chat with us live during the show. The information's on the screen behind us. We're live each day, Monday through Friday, 1:30 Eastern, 12:30 Central, live on Twitch and on YouTube. So go ahead and check us out, chat with us live. If you're on any of the recap videos, go ahead and post some comments. Post your stock picks, tips, trades you're doing. Want to get a lot of new investors looking at stocks, especially gamers and stuff like that. So if you got stock tips, put them in there so people can start to learn some of those different strategies that people use, some of the stocks that they're looking at. That's the idea behind the show. I want to build a community where we get some ideas out there and different things people can look at so people can start investing and saving some money, making some money for themselves. So give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already so you get the latest investing news for gamers. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.